I don't have any confidence in the electoral office in West Central St. Catherine until this matter is resolved. And I'm not prepared to deal with the personnel within this jurisdiction until this issue is resolved. A day after the formal count, the returning officer somehow identified a ballot in support of the opponent. She called our representative to say that she found this ballot and she was going to add it to one of the boxes. We objected. She did it nevertheless. When we went to the magisterial recount, a number of irregularities were identified. We had 3 lawyers at the final count who took copious notes on all the rejected ballots with the intention of raising our issues at the magisterial recount at the courts. Many of those ballots were obviously tampered with when they reached to the courts. So, for example, a ballot with 1 tick beside our candidate's name, which we intended to add showed voter intent, ended up with 2 ticks at the courthouse, clearly indicating that some additional marcation was added to the particular ballot. The envelopes, the seals were missing, which meant access to the ballot during the period of time from the final count to the magisterial recount. There were issues around access to keys, which would open the boxes, suggesting a breach of security around securing those ballots. A statement of poll was missing, and in one case, ballots had the missing signature of the presiding officer. It was torn off. We had to argue. We did get the court to admit some of those ballots. It further reinforced in our minds, or certainly in the minds of the 5 attorneys presided over the recount on our side, the magisterial recount, that there were sufficient evidence to suggest that the security of the ballots between the final count in Tufton and the magisterial recount was not guaranteed, and there was enough evidence to support the likelihood, and in some instances, tangible evidence to support ballot tampering, which is a very serious breach, and to our mind, challenges or undermines the will of the people, which is the substantial point that I believe we need to pursue.
Dr. Tufton, this is not a simple matter of you quibbling over a handful of votes. You have raised serious concerns about the process by which the EOJ has managed the post-election counting and distribution of ballots. So at the end of the day, you're seeking a by-election essentially in that division.
If that protects the integrity of the process and allows the one man, one vote principle to be reflected, even if we come out not being victors, even if it reaffirms the numbers or widens them, I would be a lot more comfortable than to always have a shadow of doubt over the process where people feel that they have been unfairly treated. To me, that is dangerous, not just for this case, but dangerous as a precedent for future elections in Jamaica. I would like to see the Electoral Office of Jamaica, Mr. Brown and his team, probe the reasons why envelopes were not sealed, keys could not be found, statement of poll can't be found, refusal of the returning officer to provide us with the final count when the final count was completed, and then adding an additional ballot in favor of the opponent the day after, saying that she found it somewhere. I mean, all of these things to me are abnormal. They are irregular. And that does not augur well for the confidence. Certainly, I can tell you, I don't have confidence in the electoral office in my constituency and the high-level personnel that are involved at this point until an appropriate explanation or otherwise is provided as to why this could be possible and why it took place. There are too many breaches. I don't have any confidence in the electoral office in West Central St. Catherine until this matter is resolved. And I'm not prepared to deal with the personnel within this jurisdiction until this issue is resolved.